The Rise and Fall of the Dragon's Fleet. A look back at China's maritime legacy. Written by Zheng He, China a History. China, a land of ancient history and rich culture, has long held a complex relationship with the sea. For centuries, its vast coastline served not only as a defensive barrier, but also as a gateway to trade and exploration. During the Ming Dynasty, China's maritime power reached its zenith, only to be dramatically curtailed by a fateful decision that continues to resonate through history. This essay explores the rise, fall, and resurgence of China's naval power, examining its impact on global power dynamics and its implications for the future. Zheng He's treasure fleets. Showcasing Ming Dynasty might, China, a land of ancient history and rich culture, has long held a complex relationship with the sea. The vast expanse of its coastline has been both a protective barrier and a conduit for trade and exploration, shaping the nation's destiny. For centuries, its vast coastline served not only as a defensive barrier but also as a gateway to trade and exploration. The sea routes facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures, enriching the Chinese civilization. During the Ming Dynasty, China's maritime power reached its zenith, only to be dramatically curtailed by a fateful decision that continues to resonate through history. The decision to halt the treasure fleets marked a turning point, affecting China's naval dominance. This essay explores the rise, fall, and resurgence of China's naval power, examining its impact on global power dynamics and its implications for the future. The ebb and flow of China's naval strength have had profound effects on international relations and trade. The early 15th century witnessed the awe-inspiring voyages of Zheng He, a eunuch admiral who led 7 grand expeditions across the Indian Ocean. His journeys were monumental, showcasing the technological and navigational prowess of the Ming Dynasty. Zheng He's treasure fleets, comprising hundreds of massive junks, dwarfed any naval force in the world at that time. These ships were marvels of engineering, capable of carrying vast amounts of cargo and personnel. These expeditions were not mere voyages of discovery, they were diplomatic missions intended to showcase the might and splendor of the Ming Dynasty. The fleets carried gifts and envoys, establishing China's presence and influence across the seas. Zheng He returned from his journeys laden with exotic goods and tribute from distant lands, reinforcing China's image as the Middle Kingdom at the center of the world. These treasures symbolize the wealth and power of the Ming Dynasty, leaving a lasting legacy. The burning of the fleets. A shift in priorities or a strategic blunder. However, China's maritime ambitions were short-lived, despite the initial grand vision and the impressive voyages led by Admiral Zheng He. Following the death of Emperor Yongle, Zheng He's patron, the Ming court underwent a dramatic shift in policy, marking a significant turning point in Chinese history. The Confucian scholar officials, who held considerable sway over the emperor, viewed maritime expeditions as costly and disruptive, diverting resources from more pressing domestic concerns. They argued that China, self-sufficient and inward-looking, had little to gain from overseas ventures, believing that the Middle Kingdom should focus on internal stability and prosperity. In a decision that would have profound consequences, the Ming court ordered the burning of the treasure fleet and the cessation of all further expeditions, effectively ending China's brief era of maritime exploration. This decision was driven by a confluence of factors, including economic, political, and ideological considerations. The Confucian worldview emphasized agriculture and stability over trade and expansion, promoting a vision of a harmonious and self-sustaining society. The Mongol threat from the north, which had subsided but not disappeared, demanded constant vigilance and the allocation of resources to land-based defenses, further justifying the inward turn. Moreover, the scholar officials viewed merchants and traders with suspicion, seeing them as a threat to the social order and the Confucian ideals of hierarchy and stability. The burning of the fleet therefore symbolized a rejection of maritime ambitions and a return to traditional Confucian values, marking a pivotal moment in the Ming Dynasty's history. The repercussions of inwardness. Europe seizes the seas. The consequences of China's inward turn were far-reaching. As China retreated from the world stage, a new power was emerging in the West. European nations, driven by a thirst for exploration, trade, and colonial expansion, began to fill the void left by China's absence. Portugal, Spain, the Netherlands, and England embarked on voyages of discovery, establishing trading posts and colonies across the globe. The Age of Exploration, fueled by technological innovations in shipbuilding and navigation, marked the beginning of European maritime dominance. China's decision to abandon its maritime ambitions had unwittingly paved the way for Europe's rise to global power. The vast resources and manpower that could have been directed towards maintaining a powerful navy were instead channeled into internal projects. This strategic shift allowed European nations to gain a foothold in Asia, eventually leading to the carving up of the continent into colonial possessions. Section 4. China's naval resurgence. A modern dragon takes to the water. However, China's maritime slumber was not to last forever. The 19th century witnessed the country's humiliating defeats at the hands of Western powers and Japan, exposing the vulnerability of its vast coastline. The Opium Wars in particular served as a rude awakening for China, demonstrating the importance of a strong navy in an era of Western imperialism. The Ming Dynasty, though weakened and inward-looking, attempted to modernize its navy, but these efforts proved too little, too late. The establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949 marked a turning point in the country's maritime history. Recognizing the importance of naval power in safeguarding its interests, China embarked on a concerted effort to rebuild its navy. This modernization drive accelerated in the late 20th century, fueled by rapid economic growth and a desire to reclaim China's rightful place on the world stage. Section 5. The South China Sea Dispute. A test of power and influence. China's naval ambitions have become increasingly evident in recent years, particularly in the South China Sea. Beijing claims sovereignty over almost the entire sea, a claim disputed by several Southeast Asian nations. China's construction of artificial islands and military installations in the region has raised tensions and sparked concerns about its intentions. The South China Sea dispute is widely seen as a proxy conflict between China and the United States, highlighting the growing rivalry between the two superpowers. The South China Sea is a strategically vital waterway, home to rich fishing grounds and potentially vast reserves of oil and gas. China's assertive actions in the region are driven by a complex mix of economic, strategic, and nationalist motivations. Beijing views control over the South China Sea as crucial to securing its energy supplies, protecting its maritime trade routes, and projecting power in its backyard. Section 6. A new era of naval rivalry, China and the United States. China's naval modernization has not gone unnoticed in Washington. Over the past decade, China has invested heavily in its naval capabilities, building advanced warships and submarines. The United States, long accustomed to naval dominance, views China's growing maritime power as a direct challenge to its interests. This shift in naval power dynamics has prompted significant strategic recalibrations in Washington. The United States Navy has responded by increasing its presence in the Asia-Pacific region, deploying more ships and conducting more frequent patrols. Conducting freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea, a critical waterway for global trade and regional security, and strengthening alliances with regional partners. Joint exercises and military collaborations have become more common, showcasing a united front. The stage is set for a new era of naval rivalry, marked by increased tensions and strategic maneuvering, one that could have profound implications for global stability. The balance of power in these waters is crucial for international peace. The rivalry between China and the United States is not merely about naval power. It encompasses economic, political, and technological dimensions as well. It is a reflection of a broader geopolitical competition between two contrasting visions of global order. Each nation seeks to assert its influence and protect its interests. China, seeking to reclaim its historical position as the dominant power in Asia, is leveraging its growing naval strength to project power and influence, is challenging the United States-led security architecture that has prevailed in the region since World War II. This architecture has been the cornerstone of regional stability for decades. The United States, for its part, is determined to maintain its influence and uphold the rules-based order that has benefited many nations, and protect its interests in a region of vital importance to its economy and security. The stakes are high, and the outcome of this rivalry will shape the future of global maritime strategy. Section 7. The significance of sea power. Lessons from history. The rise and fall of China's naval power offers valuable lessons for understanding the importance of sea power in history. A nation's ability to control the seas has often been crucial to its economic prosperity, military security, and geopolitical influence. China's decision to abandon its maritime ambitions in the 15th century had profound consequences, allowing Europe to seize the initiative and shape the course of global history. Today, China is determined to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past, investing heavily in its navy and asserting its maritime claims. The importance of sea power is not limited to the past. In today's interconnected world, maritime trade routes are the lifeblood of the global economy. The vast majority of international trade is transported by sea, making control over key choke points and shipping lanes of paramount importance. Moreover, naval forces play a crucial role in projecting power, deterring aggression, and responding to crises around the world. Section 8. Conclusion. China's maritime future: uncertainty and opportunity. China's maritime future is fraught with both uncertainty and opportunity. The country's growing naval power is undeniable, but it remains to be seen how Beijing will choose to wield this power. Will China seek to challenge the existing global order, or will it play a more constructive role in maintaining international peace and security? The answer to this question will have profound implications not only for China, but for the entire world. The world is watching closely as China charts its course in the 21st century. The country's maritime ambitions are a testament to its determination to reclaim its historical position as a great power. However, with great power comes great responsibility. It is imperative that China exercises its newfound naval might responsibly, in accordance with international law, and in the interests of global peace and stability. The future of the Asia-Pacific region, and indeed the world, may well depend on it.